What's going on, guys? It's time once again for another edition of the Graphical Evolution. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Resistance series, which was actually a viewer request. For those who may not know, the Resistance franchise is a Sony exclusive that usually gets high marks and is a pretty popular title as well. I don't think it's as popular as Killzone or maybe Uncharted, but I think most people who own or have owned a PS3 at least have heard of this game at some point. And believe it or not, this is the first time I've played any of the Resistance games. There's a reason why, but I'll get to that near the end of the video. Anyway, being that the original game was released as a launch title, the graphics really weren't all that impressive. I don't want to say it looked bad because I've seen games that have come out a few years after this that look surprisingly far worse, but I don't want to say it looks good either. For example, Call of Duty 3 was also a launch title, and in my personal opinion, that game does look visually better than the original Resistance does. Now, the second game, I noticed right away a huge change in the graphics. The original had very bland looking environments, and I don't know, I just didn't care for it as much. Whereas the sequel is more colorful and in general looks significantly better in every way. The gameplay, minus some of the stupid shit they did, like having the sprint button be the same as crouch, and the lack of the weapon wheel, I feel is also much better as well. The third game was actually the first of the three that I played. I would have played them in order, but the library sent this one first, and, well, to be honest, I really couldn't help myself. Before I say anything about the game, let's go back a little bit. I said earlier that there is a reason why I never played Resistance before. The reason behind this is because as a whole, I don't care for alien shooters. I don't know why, but it's just been a genre of shooter that I've never really liked. Resistance 3 is an exception. I think the graphics are great, although because of the post-apocalyptic setting of the game, the colors aren't as robust as Resistance 2's, which makes sense depending on how you look at it. Other people complained about the game's color, calling it boring to look at or whatever. But again, you kinda have to understand the setting of the game. I mean, typically a post-apocalyptic setting, or however you want to put it, shouldn't exactly have a ton of color. So this sort of thing I understood, therefore it didn't bother me at all. And as far as the gameplay goes, it far surpasses the other two to the point where I can easily see myself playing through this game a couple times through and still getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. The second one, maybe one or two playthroughs is enough. And I don't know about the original, it just didn't do anything for me. Not that I think it's bad or anything, believe me, it's just I couldn't get into the game, it didn't click for me. So with that said, guys, that's it for today's edition of the Graphical Evolution. Feel free to leave a request in the comments below if you'd like, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.